The grilled bagel breakfast sandwich is back as part of Tim's 2 for $4 breakfast deal. Get yours at Tim Hortons Cafe and Bake Shop.
Welcome to the High Top Resort.
Hey, I'm not done. You need to know this offer is good with any of our delicious classic bagel varieties like everything, 12 grain, or even pretzel. Plus, you can have your choice of sausage or bacon. Okay, now we're done. Tim's 2 for $4 breakfast sandwich deal at Tim Hortons. At participating U.S. restaurants. Offer available on breakfast sandwiches for a limited time. Plus applicable taxes. Single sandwich at regular price.
Blog Talk Radio.
Thank you so much for tuning in to The Awakening with Katina Love and segment on Inspiration Sunday. Today is April the 17th, 2016. I am your host and spiritual life coach. If you or someone you know would like to be a guest on the show to share your journey to higher consciousness and promote your life's purpose and business in the healing arts, or to share your wellness products and services, I would love to speak with you. I can be reached at Katina Love, Katinalove.com. My email is lotus, Lotus, life, Life, the number 8, at yahoo.com. The topic of today's show is Create Your Success and Abundance Mindset, Part 2. Our special guest is the lovely Christina Dukes. Her website is Christina, Christina, Dukes, Dukes.com. Christina is the success manifestation coach and a catalyst of our generation, inspiring both men and women to fully believe in their potential and spiritual calling. She spoke last week in Part 1 on Create Your Success and Abundance Mindset. If you haven't heard this yet, you may want to go and download this from the archive. Christina works with creative entrepreneurs and professionals, aligning them with processes that generate profits. As a coach, consultant, motivational speaker, and aspiring author, Christina strives to influence her generation through a process she calls Connect, Engage, and Inspire. Christina, thank you so much for coming back on the show today. How are you?
Thank you so much for having me, and happy Sunday. And I'm glad to hear we talked a little bit before the show that you're manifesting abundance. So this is really awesome, and I'm very proud of you. And so what I was going to share with everyone today, and I definitely hope that everyone was, just impacted on the show last week. I actually just went back and listened to the archive. So if you guys haven't done that, make sure you do. It was amazing. There was so much information, but it was just completely flowing, and it was so valuable. So if you guys haven't checked it out, I think that'd be really awesome to do so. So what I want to focus on actually today is 3 simple ways that we can attract more abundance into our life today. And I'm going to use you as a little bit of a case study, if that's okay with you.
Absolutely.
Is that okay? Because you cracked the code.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
I'm just going to bring it out into the open of how you did it.
Yeah, let's do it.
So, as we talked about last week, attracting abundance, when we look at the word abundance, abundance means an overflow of. And we mentioned something that you couldn't pour from an empty cup. But you learned something really important, and this is actually going to be one of the ways we're going to talk about today. But you figured out how to sow into the lives of others, and realizing that the abundance you're attracting allows you to be a blessing to other people. But even if you can't give financially, you can always give your time, you can give advice, you can give your compassion. There's so many other things that we can give. So the word abundance just means an overflow of, well, we've taken our belief system and associated money with abundance, but abundance can be anything. Abundance can be overflow of anything. It could be overflow of harvest or fruits or vegetables. I mean, when you have too much, that means it's an overflow, okay? So when we're really thinking about attracting abundance into our lives, we've got to really decide, okay, what type of, first of all, abundance am I trying to attract? And the first simple way to just begin attracting more abundance is really to just begin shifting your thinking and belief systems. So something really awesome happened to you where you manifested something, and it allowed you to go and extend gratitude to realize how blessed you are, right?
Absolutely.
But
Absolutely.
if you ultimately just take a step back and you look at your life, right? If you're listening to this show, then you have the gift of hearing, obviously. You can probably see, you can probably write, you probably have a job or a car or a place to live. So these are things and simple things that we can begin to extend gratitude to. And when we extend gratitude, it increases abundance.
Absolutely.
We're appreciating where we are right now. There's nothing that we can do about it, but we can be grateful for the blessings that are around us. When we're grateful and we extend that gratitude, it allows the universe and God to give us more because we're able to handle what we currently have. So don't look at your bank accounts or the amount of credit card debt you have or any of those things and be overwhelmed. You've got to shift your thinking to realize, you know what, I've got this, and God has a plan, and you've just got to extend gratitude to allow him to bring that forth to you. Now, when we're thinking about attracting abundance, it can come in a number of different ways. Abundance can be a person that shows up to help you to grow your business. Abundance can show up in money. It can show up in checks in the mail. So what I would definitely say is get really specific about what type of abundance that you're looking to attract. So a major question is, what are you reading, watching, and spending your time doing? Because those are the things that you're attracting. So if you're constantly looking at, like the economy is going down, if you're constantly reading things like that and putting it into your mindset, in your mindset that you're now creating based on what you're feeding yourself, what you're beginning to say is that I can't attract abundance because the economy is down, there's no money, there's no jobs, there's no this. It kind of opens up an entire gateway of negativity, right? But if you take a step back from that and you say to yourself, no, I was built and designed in God's favor, and I'm designed to be abundant, prosperous, healthy, wealthy, and anointed. If that is the mindset that you're looking at the world and you're filtering out what it is that you don't need, you
right. All right, just bear with me a moment here. I'm going to reconnect Christina. Looks like we lost her. So just bear with me just for a moment here.
Do you know where I left off?
Abundance mindset, attracting the things that we're feeding ourselves with the media and the news, what's going on in the news, the economy, what have you.
Right. So you've got to create your own world, and that's what attracting abundance is really about. And we talked about last week the concept that when you're looking at success from the supernatural standpoint, you'll keep your head down, meaning that it doesn't matter what other people are doing and what they're attracting and what's going on with them. You've got to focus on the things that really concern you, right?
Absolutely, yeah.
It doesn't matter, in reality, who's going to be the president. If you're designed to be abundant, you're going to be abundant, and there's nothing anyone can do about it. It's your birthright. It's natural for you. So everything that's designed for you, you will have it. What's designed for another person, they will have it. So be careful what you're feeding into your mindset, because the major thing about attracting abundance is being able to shift the way you're thinking. And the way that you should be thinking is that I am healthy, wealthy, abundant, and prosperous. So creating affirmations to use daily. Every day I actually write a gratitude list. That's really helpful in attracting abundance, because what you're doing is you're waking up on the right foot, meaning I'm extending gratitude to God and the universe for everything they've blessed me with. And the list doesn't have to be long. It doesn't have to be 100 items, but you can write out 3 things that you're grateful for. And those 3 things could be, I woke up today, I have a place to live, and I have money coming in. And we can create affirmations from there, like I'm a money magnet. I always attract large checks in the mail. People are constantly hiring me. I am constantly attracting opportunities. So these are different affirmations that you can write out, but you've got to read them daily because it needs to be a consistent habit, and that is what makes up your belief system. So your habits become your belief system.
Absolutely.
So you've got to make it a habit, and call me crazy, but I have these affirmations printed on my bathroom mirror. I have them printed in my bedroom. They're on my phone. Whenever I'm having a down moment where I'm feeling like I can't attract money or I can't attract abundance, I have to go back and read these and rewrite these, almost like not really putting myself on punishment, but conditioning myself for the right state of mind. Yeah. And a lot of people hit roadblocks with this, right? Because they're writing down the affirmations and they've decided what they want and they're filtering their mind, but nothing is still manifesting, right? Right. This happens to a lot of people. Well, that's going to be the moment where you're going to have to really get in touch with how you really feel about yourself. But I didn't realize this, that self-love was the root of all manifestation. Self-love is the root of all positive manifestation. It's about loving things and expecting it even if it hasn't shown up yet. Right. So if you're saying I'm abundant, I'm healthy, wealthy, but inside you really feel like this is not going to work, I'm not going to manifest this, if there's some deep down belief inside of you that's almost blocking what you really want to happen, because that negative thought, as we said last week, is more dominant because you're speaking something out of your mouth, but in your mind you don't believe it. So it's really about reprogramming your mindset by first getting in touch with the negative thoughts that you feel. Write them down on a sheet of paper. This is how I really feel about my financial state. I feel like I'm a failure. Maybe I failed at a business before. I feel like I'll never find a job, or I feel like I'll never manifest this amount of money. Get in touch with those negative feelings and then take all those negative feelings and create a positive affirmation that goes along with it, so you're mentally triggering yourself. Every time you have that negative thought, you know what affirmation to go to directly. Does that make sense? Absolutely. It's a really easy way to just take control and get organized with your thoughts and feelings, okay? Absolutely. Because I do that. Yes. I do. I'm an affirmation person. I'm really big on affirmations, and I know that they do work. They do work. Yeah, they do. But you've got to get over, like, the negative BS first, right? Right. Because it's almost like sometimes we get into this mode of just regurgitating words but not feeling them, not being it, because you have to feel abundant. You have to feel rich. You have to feel wealthy before it shows up. See, that means you got to walk outside and carry yourself like a wealthy person. Even if you have $1 in your pocket, look nice. You know, always think about attracting your next opportunity, and you've got to be active in your own life. I think that's also very important. And what I mean by being active in your life is that even though we're putting these things out and we're praying about it and we're meditating about it and we're putting it out to the universe, it also means that there's work for us to do as well. We don't live in a universe that allows us to just be lazy about it. If there are things that you want to do, you've got to focus on, okay, this is the thing I really want to do. Come up with a plan of how to do it. And if you don't know how to do it, find someone who does know how to do it and who's done it successfully to help you. There are tons of resources out there. Absolutely. And once you've done that, you have to decide for yourself that I am now reconditioning myself for the abundance that I seek. On a daily basis, we waste so much money on sometimes ridiculous things, but maybe they make you feel good. But I'd definitely say investing in yourself is one of the best things that you can spend money on and or save up so you can afford it. So we're going to jump into the number 2 way to attract more abundance. And the number 2 way is to give to others. When you give to other people, it just opens up all of that abundance energy. Do something for someone. And if, like we said before, you can't pour from an empty cup, but maybe your financial cup is empty, but maybe your emotional cup is not empty. So you can definitely give someone a compliment or say something really nice about them, because you don't even realize that our words are like power. Someone was saying like, like words are like spells, because we have to spell a word, and it's spelling. So every time we speak, we're almost casting a spell. So absolutely, something really good about someone, so you can cast a really good spell on them, because you don't even realize there are a lot of people that are constantly around people on a daily basis that are telling them what they can't do. It's not possible. Your dreams aren't valid. You don't have enough money. You'll never do that. And they're around this constantly. And then a person comes around and says, "No, you can do this. You can make it happen. I'm going to show you how." And then for that person, that's just the beacon of light, the this moment that they need to believe in themselves. So absolutely. Opportunity that you can, if you really want to attract abundance into your life, speak beauty on people, speak abundance into their lives, and into your abundance life as well.
Absolutely.
We're called here on this earth for service. And at every step of the way, we need to be of service to people in some way, whether that's through your business, through, like I just said, saying a kind word, buying someone flowers, treating them to something, just doing something really kind for other people. It just really kind of opens up, because then they'll also sow into our lives as well, and you just never know where your next blessing is coming from. I can tell you that I can remember times where someone needed help, or, you know, and I volunteered to help them or just do anything for them. And then a blessing happened for me right away. It was almost like my blessing was right in a way coming in, but it was just a matter of me doing something to help someone else to kind of tip the abundance cup, right?
Yeah, yeah.
So it was about me kind of like making this extra emotional deposit to tip that abundance cup. If you think about it like sitting, like how the Libra scale is, and you think about it like that, I just tipped the cup and my abundance came through. So you got to really think about sowing seeds into other people. So that's going to also be really important. And in our time of giving to other people, don't really expect anything back. And the reason why I say that is because if we do things for people and expect something in exchange, what we're really saying is that I had ulterior motives all in the beginning anyway. So it's okay to do things for people and not desire anything back. But also you want to be careful of people who we enable. And when I say enable, it's a person who's always constantly in trouble, or we're constantly going out of our way to do things for. At some point, it does become an enablement relationship, and you want to be a little bit careful of those, because they're almost, so how I would describe it, like for some people, it could be their parents, their children. Just constantly kind of taking energy. I need your help. I can't do this without you. I need money. Help me with this. And it's all, you already know what to sort of expect when you hear from those people. I would just be careful, because a lot of times those type of people are feeding off of our really positive energy. And we leave them and we're just so drained based on all that's going on. So when I talked about those filters earlier, you're going to have to filter some people if you really want to attract abundance in your life too, because they're blocking some of your blessings. So that was a tough one, but it is what it is.
It is what it is. It is what it is. You said it.
And so finally, what we want to do is we want to ask God and the universe for the creativity to create more abundance in our lives. So for those of us who are entrepreneurs, maybe you need fresh new ideas for your business. Maybe you just really need to be inspired. And so what I realized is that your ideas, it's kind of like those are like God gives you these ideas that could potentially be really cool money-making ideas, right? And so then you have to take your ideas and you have to be inspired by the ideas. And then you have to vision what it could be. And then you would manifest it, right? So think about it like this. In the process of creating more abundance, ask God for creativity. Ask him for ideas. Ask him for sort of like fresh manna, fresh wine. You know? And we all sometimes, once we've manifested everything we've already done, we're looking for our next level of challenge. We like the excitement. We're looking for our next level. And sometimes our next level means investing in ourselves. And sometimes our next level means moving. Or sometimes our next level means, you know, like focusing on what our, you know, end goal is or what's our next business venture. So you've got to think about it in a way that God will always challenge us to take us to the next level of life if only we ask. So the reason why some of us are stuck is because we haven't asked to go into abundance. We haven't asked for the abundance because sometimes we're afraid because our mindset, our conditioning of how we think about money may not be in alignment with what it is that we truly, truly want. So in this stage of asking God for more creativity and ideas, he could sometimes introduce that creativity and ideas with people. People could come your way that and they'll actually represent abundance because they'll have ideas that will help you grow in your business. They'll have ideas of how you can take your life to the next level. So in investing in yourself and really saying, I trust you enough, God, to know that I'm going to get a positive return on investment. Because when you begin looking at yourself as an investor and you begin looking at you as the CEO of you, now you're in a position to realize that you already have wealth. You're already rich. You have everything that you want. Your money is out there and it's waiting. It's waiting on you to call it forward. But maybe you're asking too small. Or maybe you're, you know, because if you're just thinking about, see, the word abundance means an overflow. So if you're only asking God for just money to get by, just money to pay your rent, just money to get through this month, well, you're just going to make it through the month. And then you're wondering at the end of the month, why am I broke again? How come I don't have any money again? Like, what's going on? Well, the reason why that happens is because you're only asking for enough. Ask for more than enough. I say don't be afraid of that number that you really, 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 really want to make. Take time and think about that. Don't be afraid of it. Maybe God's putting that number in your heart for a reason. And yeah, it may not manifest today, but you may look at your life, like I do this so often. You may take a step back and look at your life over the past 3 years and realize, oh, wow, I manifested that. I made it happen. And it just took the time to just reach out to God and ask for some help on this. And again, like I said, in attracting abundance, you can't pour from an empty cup. So stop asking for just enough money to get by. Ask for more.
Yes. So important.
Okay? Absolutely. The other thing that you can do is create a vision board. And vision boards are so awesome because vision boards are intended to really inspire us. We live in a world that is very visual, okay? And based on that, we see pictures that make us feel a certain way. Vision boards work the same thing. So if you really want to create an abundance mindset and attract more abundance into your life, if you are going to create a vision board or a vision wall or a power patient, you've got to be looking at things that represent abundance, because if you don't have any idea of what abundance looks like to you, how will you know when it comes?
Right, exactly.
Create that vision. Decide what it is. Is it going out for dinner at certain restaurants? I mean, put a picture of the restaurant on your vision board. Or is it driving a certain car? Is that what abundance symbolizes to you? Is it getting checks for $20,000 in the mail? Well, then write yourself a check and put it on your wall or your vision board for $20,000. If that is what you know that you're desiring and what abundance means to you, get it in your environment. Because if your environment is not saying abundance, and I don't care if you live in a rundown shack, you can find a way to get some really cool pictures to post up on a board or on your wall. Just buy some tape and go to the Kinko's and get some cool pictures printed. It's really easy.
Absolutely.
You know, so it doesn't matter what's currently happening around you and where you currently are right now. What matters is what you want. And the fact that you're here listening to this broadcast right now, the fact that you're feeling a disconnect between what you really want and where you are right now is a signal to say something has to change. And generally that something that's going to have to change is you.
Yes.
Generally that something that's going to have to change is the way you've been doing things before. It's time for a new way of doing things. So there's tons of tools that are available. I think YouTube, I'm on YouTube as well. There are tons of videos and people that can guide you and give you help. But I think that my greatest advice would be make sure, because if you're constantly taking from them information and you're not sowing any seeds back, remember, we have to give to others as well. So we need our abundance to go. So if we have teachers that we're following, we should at least attend one of their conferences or a webinar or invest something in them because we get the energy of abundance flowing. Book a session with them. Most of the people who I do follow on YouTube, I will book a session with them and just learn from them because we're getting a lot of general information, but you need a specific and a unique roadmap and a plan to attract the abundance and attract the life that you truly desire. So you're going to have to begin thinking about investing in the people that are sowing into your lives as well. So those are all really important. Are there any specific questions that you have for me or anything?
I just wanted to say I'm so grateful that you're sharing that information because I say if you want something you've never had, you have to do something that you've never done. And I just want to say to you, Christina, that I am just so happy and I am so grateful that I crossed your paths with you because I discovered you on YouTube looking at your videos, and in particular it was the one with smelling your money. And it's instructive. I think I said this last week. But I'm just so grateful that I was led to you. And I'm your number one fan, and
thank you.
you are the picture of what I desire to be. And so I'm like I was telling you before, I'm very transparent. I'm just grateful for you, and you've helped me. You've already given me like 2 sessions on things that I can do personally, and I'm just so grateful for you. I'm just so happy for you.
Thank you.
And your progress, the things that you're doing. You are truly a blessing to our planet, and I'm just happy. I'm just grateful for you. I just can't say enough. Whatever I can do to assist you and to help you move forward, that's what brings me joy because you're a blessing to me.
Thank you. I really appreciate that.
Yeah.
So can I give you can I tell you why the smelling money thing works?
Yeah, go for it.
So the reason why the smelling money thing works is because it's the silliest, most ridiculous thing that anyone could have ever created or ever done or ever do, right? It feels silly while you're doing it. It's like, why would I smell my money? We've been taught money is dirty, blah, blah, blah.
Right.
But let me tell you why the smelling money thing works. The smelling money thing works is because that if you smell it, it doesn't matter whether it works or not. So you're releasing all of those money blocks that you have. But if you're thinking this money thing is stupid and you're not even going to be willing to smell it and you're going to be thinking in your mind it's not going to work anyway, well, guess what? It's not going to work anyway. The smelling money thing works is because you're putting out that childlike, pure energy that, heck, if it works, it'll be fantastic. I'm going to try it anyway. That's why it works. So
it does.
Everything you just summed up about if you never try, you gotta, I forgot exactly how you worded it, but basically just saying go out of your comfort zone. I mean, that is it. That's why it works and why it works so well for people. And continuously do it. Don't just do it one day and say 6 months from now, why am I not manifesting money? It needs to be a habit.
Absolutely. And I do want to share what I manifested, Christina, since last week. I told the universe 2 weeks ago that I am going to have A1 credit. And so I was able to pay off I'm rebuilding my credit for those who want to do that. Rebuilding my credit. I had a Fingerhood Fresh Start account, and I paid it off. So I felt really good about paying it off. This past week, I got 2 new credit cards, a total of $2,800. And I am looking at that as abundance because it's more than what I expected. It's more than what I asked for. I'm just on this trail of rebuilding my credit. I'm not going to max my cards out. I'm just going to buy some things, pay it off, so that I can build. I'm going towards that A1 credit. And I'm grateful for that. So that's what I've manifested.
That is so awesome. And let me tell you about abundance, because it means that that's those companies feel that you're worth to them right now. So
Absolutely.
It's a game. So as you begin to build more and build more, they'll feel like you're worth more and worth more and worth more. But
Absolutely.
you already thought you were worth more already.
Absolutely. So I am happy, Christina. I am happy for you. We're going to do part 3 next week because we're out of time. I just want to
more.
There is way more, and I'm just so grateful for you. Thank you for all that you do and being you and helping and being a blessing to all of us. So thank you so much for being a guest on the Awakening with Katina Love today. You're welcome in our segment on Inspiration Sunday, Create Your Success and Abundance Mindset, Part 3. And next week we're going to have today's Part 2. Next week we're going to have Part 3. Thank you so much for listening to the Awakening with Katina Love. Namaste.
Okay, class, let's go!
Whoa, we're starting already? Step to the left, no to the right. Oh, now back. How are they lunging like that? Turn around? How did I let Jen convince me to come here? Wait, now do what? How are they doing that? You know what? I'm just going to pretend I know what I'm doing in this class and have fun.
Fearless is being the only newbie in class. That's the power of the Blue Cross and Blue Shield Federal Employee Program. Learn more about our healthy benefits, tools, and wellness programs at fepblue.org/getactive.
The grilled bagel breakfast sandwich is back as part of Tim's 2 for $4 breakfast deal. Get yours at Tim Hortons Cafe and Bake Shop.
Welcome to the High Top Resort.
Hey, I'm not done. You need to know this offer is good with any of our delicious classic bagel varieties like everything, 12 grain, or even pretzel. Plus, you can have your choice of sausage or bacon. Okay, now we're done. Tim's 2 for $4 breakfast sandwich deal at Tim Hortons. At participating U.S. restaurants. Offer available on breakfast sandwiches for a limited time. Plus applicable taxes. Single sandwich at regular price.